fellow guitar travellers, and welcome to another episode of Robot Licks. This episode is going to be all about developing that right hand speed. So if you want to shred like a maniac, you need to get the right hand working, and that's what this episode is all about. Alright, so should be a lot of fun. Before we get into it, yes, you know what's coming. Website plug. It's www.roundjparker.com. It's a great site which has been totally revamped with lovely new shiny artwork and a much expanded store. So there's tons of products in the store now, over 30. So if something strikes your fancy, go buy it. What else can we tell you? There's lots of backing tracks on my SoundCloud account, which is Round J Parker on SoundCloud, of course. YouTube channel which you're watching. I'm on Facebook, hit me up. If you want to be pals on Facebook, you know, as we have your friends on Facebook, they're not real friends, they sort of stand in for your real friends. It's a simulacrum of friendship, not real friendship. But still, if you want to be Facebook buddies, hit me up on Facebook, it's Round J Parker. Twitter if you really must. Now, if you really like these videos, but you don't want to buy anything from the store, you can help me out by supporting me on Patreon. I've got a Patreon account, and you can donate to me, so it's Round J Parker on Patreon. Anything would help at all, because obviously, these videos do take a lot of time to make. Invest a lot of energy and emotion into producing these videos. So if you want to give me something back for the time, for the effort, if you enjoy them, then that would be great. So support me on Patreon. Righty, well, I think that's enough of that. Now we're just going to go on with the lesson. Alright, so grab the guitar, grab the plectrum, and get ready to melt your face. Get ready to turn your world upside down. I would like to say, I'll give you the keys to the Lamborghini, but Michelangelo beat me to it. So, it's time to rock. Okay, here we go, 100 BPM. We're starting on the nursery slopes here. Semi-quavers at 100 BPM. Now you'll probably notice that at these slower tempos, the plectrum won't be angled down quite as much, but as we speed up, it'll angle more. Alright, anyway, so here's 100 BPM. I'm sure you'll manage that. Oh, the note that I'm tremoloing on, not that it matters too much, is the C note on the 17th fret of the G string. Though it's completely arbitrary, it could be any note at all. Right, here we go, 100 BPM. You ready? Ready, steady, ready, play. Right, okay, so I'm sure that tempo, you could manage that tempo. It's not a hard tempo to achieve. If you feel that even at 100 you're not getting it, you're not accurate, try and make sure that the motions are minimal. If you've got this very sort of wide picking motion like this, I've seen some guys pick this way, it's just incredibly inefficient. I mean, obviously stands to reason that the more minimal you can make the right hand motion, the quicker you'll be able to move the plectrum backwards and forwards, and the faster and more accurate you'll be able to do it. So if you find yourself making these enormous motions, then really try and focus on the right hand to make the motions a lot smaller. Okay, right now let's go up 20 BPM, 120. Right, here we go. You ready to play? Ready, steady, ready, play. Whenever I do a tremolo pick, I'm always reminded of that Frank Gambale video Chop Builder, where you know, it starts with an alternate picking round, and you just hear Frank's voice in my head saying, "Make it like a little motor in your right hand." Yep, so that's what to think about. It's a little motor in your right hand that's going to push everything along. Alright, so that was 120, that was nice and easy. Let's advance 20 BPM, so 140. Okay, take it ready and play. Ready, steady, ready, play. So for me, still very, very comfortable. Again, if you're starting to struggle at these tempos, minimal motion. Minimal motion. You can see at this point I'm not really using too much of my elbow, it's mostly coming from the wrist. Okay, up to 160 BPM now. Alright. Okay. Ready, steady, ready, ready, steady, ready, play. Alright, seems fine at 160. Bearing in mind that my top tempo is 300, this is just over half the capacity, so it feels quite easy. It's all just a matter of what your the elasticity of your technique is like, and how much technique you have in your playing. It's a bit like you know, when you were at school and you did these Venn diagrams and there were things inside the Venn diagram and things outside the Venn diagram. Well, you can imagine everything you can play is inside a Venn diagram, and everything that you can't play is outside of it. And when you practice, what you do is you try and make the circle of the Venn diagram larger, it expands. And the only problem is it tends to push back against you. It's a bit like an elastic barrier, which I've talked about in other videos. So everyone's got a capacity. There'll be a limit, a technical limit for everybody. It's just where that happens to be. So whatever point you're at, whether you find 160 beats a minute to be very easy, or this is now your bleeding edge, is you find the bleeding edge and you push against it, push against it, push against it. And sometimes the way to do that is actually to go beyond what you think is possible and really just try and play as quick as you possibly can. Oh, I've got a cat that's just invaded me. He's looking at me hopefully like, yep, he's giving me that feline look which says, could be dinner time. Alright, anyway, let's push up to 180, see what happens. Oh, we're already there. Alright, 180. Ready, steady, ready, steady, ready, and... So you probably see 180, then the plectrum starting to angle downward, and I'm starting to use more of the wrist to get that tempo. Alright? And then up to 200 now, which is quick, no doubt this is quick. So I mean, if a lot of you are just thinking, holy god, 200 is fast. Yep, I used to find 200 very, very fast. But it's interesting when you work at faster tempos, how your perception of tempo alters over time. So I can remember at one time 200 seemed extremely fast, but when you work up as far as say 300, because that is a whole third less, then your perception of 200 as being a fast tempo really starts to evaporate, and you just sort of think, yeah, this actually feels pedestrian. It's odd how your mind perceives tempo. So it got to the sort of fairly bonkers stage now where I hear 300 and I don't really feel it's fast. You know, I know it is fast, and the digital and motor control required to make everything go that fast is really of a high order, but internally in my mind it doesn't feel necessarily like an extremely quick tempo. So anyway, 200. Okay, get ready. Ready, steady, ready, and... Say that's pretty much in the pocket. 200, that's looking alright. So now, of course, it's going to start getting quite difficult because we're into the sort of the 200 plus category. So this is going to require some real control, and you'll see any of the plectrum is going to start rotating more, and yeah, you'll be really full on elbow motion at this point. So let's go 220. See if we can manage it. Get ready, ready, steady, ready, steady, ready, and... Obviously these tempos, stamina becomes a bit of an issue. How long you can keep it going before it either starts to slow down, you feel it dropping below the tempo, or you just start getting fatigued and the whole thing just starts like oof. So you can see that the limitation of this picking technique is that maybe you can't sustain it for very long periods of time. But then who really wants to listen to continuous passages over 200 anyway? It would just get overwhelming. I think for the, you know, for an effect, special effect, it's impressive, amazing run in a song, it's absolutely great, but to do it all the time, oh my goodness, no. It's just, I mean, no taste and decency. I know I'm joking about Robotics being just full on shredding. It is, it's designed to develop technique, but it's not designed to be used this way in your actual playing. because I just think that'd be incredibly unmusical. Right, anyway, 240. Alright, see how we fare. Okay, get tricky. Ready, steady, ready, steady, ready, and phew. Sweating it now. Because these tempos are really getting extreme, what I find is that sometimes I can hit them and sometimes it's less good, and it's a very odd thing. It's like when you're at a really, it's like an athlete at absolute peak of training, as you can't hit your personal best on every single day. You know, you can be there, you can hit a personal best and then you can be there or thereabouts, but maybe you won't hit that again. So let's just see, because right now I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is now feeling really fast. So let's just see what happens when we crank it to 260. Alright, 260. Okay, let's try. Ready, steady, ready, and becoming a beast. You can probably see the look in my face now. It's like going, oh, looking a bit constipated trying to keep this up. It's certainly a monster. Alright, well, we've only got 2 rounds left to go. So let's just very bravely push on and see if we can do it. Right, 280, okay, 280 BPM, semi-quaver. When I was referring to the tempo, I think the way I'm feeling the tempo now is I'm feeling it really half time. So it was going ga 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 ga. So I'm feeling the minim or the half note. I'm not feeling the quarter note. And I think that's what is helping internally to make the tempos feel a lot more manageable, because if you were to try and feel it'd be really, really, you know, difficult, frantic feeling. But if you feel the half note or the minim, then, you know, just again it seems much more manageable, because in your mind it's actually just going at half tempo. It would be the same as playing, say, 140 BPM in demi semi-quavers rather than playing 280 BPM in semi-quavers. So that's kind of how I'm thinking, mentally processing these very fast tempos. Anyway, it's 280. Oh. Alright. Ready, steady, ready, steady, ready, and I keep whistling, but this is hard. My cat is looking at me completely unimpressed. He's looking at me going, so what? Where's my whiskers? That's what he's saying. For those of you who don't know, whiskers is a form of cat food. He's a fat cat, he just thinks about his stomach constantly. You know, he's just a big flumper. Yeah, he's looking at me just now like this. Oh, come on, I love you, and I will love you. He'll love me as soon as I feed him, and then as soon as I feed him, he'll be like, you're dead to me. Right, anyway, enough of this nonsense. Now we're going to go to 300. And for those of you that are obsessed with this whole notes per second thing, 300 is 20 notes per second, so if you can pick this fast, you're actually moving the plectrum backwards and forwards at 20 times every second, which is not to be sniffed at. So let's just try 300. Both die. Alright. And up. Wow, I think I've really shot my wad at that point. Pass me the Kleenex, because I don't think I can go any faster. So I think at that point, yeah, we'll call it a day, and we'll leave it at that. 300 BPM, absolutely insane. I think as a last demo, what I'll do is I'll just crank it up more until it all falls to bits, or I'll do a tempo I can't play and just keep playing until the hand just starts giving out. All right, just to show you that there's a limit for everything, but still. 300 made, which is good. Right, so I'm going to leave it on this last play along. We're going to go up to 320, and I'm just going to keep going. If I can even hit 320, I'm just going to keep going until the right hand just gives out completely. All right. Right, 320. I think at that tempo it's very hard to hear whether I'm actually in the pocket or not. Sometimes I'm thinking that it's actually only semiquaver triplets rather than demi-semiquavers, or it's only triplets rather than semiquavers. So it's a bit hard to hear at 320, I think, internally. Maybe I could work up to it, but I don't think, I think if I get to 300, you know, I'm going to call it a day at that. Alright, that'll do for this lesson. Tremolo picking, hopes it's really helped to develop this right hand, because it's all about the right hand speed, getting the right hand speed up and then getting the left and right hands to talk to each other. That's the hard bit. It's not really so hard to get the plectrum to move backwards and forwards quickly. You can get a beginner to do that. Push the plectrum backwards and forwards is getting the two hands talking to each other. That's the real skill in fast alternate picking. Right, that'll do for this lesson. I'll see you next time for another episode of Robotics. Till then, farewell. And Sandy, it's your dinner time. Let's go and feed him. See you later.